I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high.
Can you say 3 nice things about Nicki Minaj?
Can you?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
You want me to?
Well, it's your question. I mean, like...
Well, I know, but I'm asking it to you.
You want to know the real reason why Nicki Minaj was at Coachella in Arizona with Erica, Turning Point USA, JD Vance? It's because Nicki Minaj is an undocumented immigrant. Oh, and Nicki Minaj is at risk of losing her $20 million Hidden Hills, California home because her and her husband failed to pay a $500,000 settlement to a security guard that he assaulted back in 2019.
I am crying. The Barbs were gaslighting us about Nicki Minaj not being MAGA just because she's speaking out on behalf of persecuted Christians in Nigeria and co-signing Donald Trump's sentiments. And now here she is being brought out by Erica Kurk at Turning Point USA's America Fest event. Can you imagine? Like, Nicki Minaj is the gift that keeps on giving. Every time you think she's done being a terrible person, she shows you that she still has more in her stockpile. It's absolutely laughable at this point. It's comical. Like, how could you not laugh? It's hilarious. All I have to say is, where there's smoke, there's fire, and Nicki Minaj has proven time and time again that she doesn't give a rat's ass about anybody but herself. So anybody that's stuck by her up until this point deserves what they're getting. I don't feel bad.
Nicki Minaj, MAGA? One of hip-hop's most powerful women is now at the center of political firestorm. Fans are shocked, timelines are burning, and many barbers are asking one question. Did Nicki Minaj just choose Donald Trump over her own fan base? Guys, welcome back to Rica's Take, where we break down what's trending and what is controversial and what everyone afraid to say.
Nicki Minaj, you came to this country illegally. How can you say you are proud of an administration that just banned half of the Caribbean from coming to the US seeking the same asylum that you did? How can you be a role model for little girls like you when you are actively standing in their way? There was a time I had a poster of you wearing a necklace of fried chicken dyed pink on my wall. Where did that woman go? I miss her.
Nicki Minaj can't vote. You guys know that, right? She's not a US citizen. And I'm not outing her or anything. She said this out of her own mouth years ago. So, by MAGA standards, they're championing an illegal who didn't do it the right way. Yes, Cardi was right again in saying, hey, that's why her kid's favorite color is 5.
Nicki Minaj has never been shy about her opinions, but recently, fans noticed a shift from defending free thinking to openly expressing admiration for Donald Trump. Nicki Minaj spoke about linking Trump's confidence, leadership style, and refusal to apologize, saying she respected people who stand their ground no matter what. For many fans, that sounded less like naturally and more like MAGA arrangement. Here's what they think. Things escalated when Nicki Minaj appeared at where that event linked with Erica Kurk, a figure association with conservative or pro-Trump spaces. That moment sent social media into meltdown mode.
So I'm assuming this is probably true because you can't find Nicki Minaj's page anywhere on Instagram. A lot of people are upset with her after she went on stage with Erica Kurk. And the accusation is that allegedly she lost over 10 million followers overnight. She deleted her Instagram account after losing 10 million people in one day. Profile is not available. Could this potentially be the largest unfollowing of someone ever? Now, once again, I don't know how true this is, whether it is alleged or if it's real. But I'll tell you one thing right now. If she did, in fact, lose 10 million followers that quickly, there is no way in hell that those were bots. And to top it all off, there are even other celebrities that have come out publicly and stated that they are going to unfollow her. They are not going to listen to her music. People have already started on social media, going on Spotify accounts and blocking her music. And once again, this is all for going on stage with Erica Kurk at that Turning Point event. I don't know if she realized how fast things were going to spiral out of control once she took that stage. To me, it's just wild and crazy how she did that one stage performance, and some of the clips that have come out from there with some of the things that she said has the internet in a frenzy. She even referred in one clip to the vice president as the assassin. She even mentioned that the president of the United States, Donald Trump, was handsome. So I guess my question to you is, 10 million people unfollowed her in one day. So my question to you is, what are your thoughts as to Nicki Minaj joining Erica Kurk on stage at the Turning Point event? Should she have done it, or should she have not done it? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Nicki Minaj has deleted her entire Instagram account because she had one of the largest mass unfollowings in the history of followings. This is crazy, Patriots. Check in the Secret Service, Sam. I hope you're having wonderful holidays. Anyway, I'm digressulating. Nicki Minaj, it was. Look, I'm a Cardi B. I'm a Cardi B kind of girl anyway. You know that. But Nicki Minaj went to the Amcest Festival and it backfired big time, right? She was like, hey girl, with Erica Kurk. She called Donald Trump handsome, dashing. She called J.D. Vance an assassin to Erica Kurk's face, which she laughed it off because she's like, this is all a joke anyway, girl, come on. She's like, I'm doing 50 more states on this tour, don't worry about me. Anyway, I'm digressulating. She lost 10 million followers overnight, deleted her entire Instagram account. This is not good. I mean, she's a rapper who relies on social media, and I hate to say it. Everybody, most of the people in that TP USA event, the Amcest event, do not listen to Nicki Minaj music. That's the most hilarious part about it, is none of them would ever listen to it. I mean, Amber Rose is like, go girl. Yeah, but look where she went, girl. So I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Let me know. Are you guys Nicki Minaj twying it? Or are you Nicki Minaj getting the hell out of there? Secret Service Sam out. Samson for president of TikTok.
For a minute, y'all. She didn't just switch sides. She switched values. She switched loyalties. She switched on the very people who built her into a global icon. Because let's be crystal clear. Her fame was not born in MAGA rooms. It wasn't built on Turning Point USA stages. It did not come from Trump's America. Her empire was built in Black spaces, in queer spaces, in communities that embraced her when mainstream America called her crude, classless, trashy, raunchy, and ghetto. And now she's tap dancing for the exact people who once despised her. Not because she grew, not because she thinks for herself, but because she saw a new lane to explore. This is about aligning with a political machine she thinks will shield her from criticism and consequence. She wants the illusion of power more than the reality of accountability. This is the celebrity tradition of using Black culture to rise, using queer culture to shine, then abandoning both when white conservative approval becomes more profitable. Nicki knows exactly who made her a superstar. Black girls who saw themselves in her hustle. Queer fans who built entire aesthetics around her music and persona. Communities who fought for her when mainstream America wanted absolutely nothing to do with her. And she repaid that loyalty by sitting beside people who legislate queer lives away, mock black struggle, and cheer policies built on exclusion and cruelty. That is not confusion. That is cynical opportunism. Nicki Minaj wants the benefits of blackness while cozying up to a movement built squarely on anti-blackness. She wants the money and brilliance of queer fans while performing for people who demonize those same fans as immoral. She wants to be queen of the barbs while dancing in rooms full of people who believe her fan base is everything wrong with America. Nicki Minaj didn't just switch sides, she switched currencies. And the currency she gave up was us, black people, queer people, the communities that carried her, crowned her, and kept her relevant long after the industry moved on. You cannot build your throne on blackness and queerness, then run to MAGA and expect the kingdom to follow. Nicki Minaj now stands as a cautionary tale. What happens when an artist sells out her people for applause from the very crowd that once booed her? The same crowd that called her ghetto, called her too sexual, called her a bad influence, called her fans degenerates, called her entire aesthetic a threat to American values. And now suddenly she's MAGA's cultural trophy.
Girl power redefined.
For years, Nicki Minaj was embraced by communities that feel directly targeted by Trump-era politics, immigrant, black voter, woman, and LGBTQ fans. So when Nicki Minaj praised Donald Trump, many fans felt blindsided. Some barbers say she benefited from US, now she's supporting someone who hates us. This isn't just politics, it is personal. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequence. Others are defending her, saying Nicki Minaj doesn't own any political loyalty. Supporting Trump doesn't erase her music or legacy, what she did in USA. Artists are allowed to think differently. What we are seeing isn't just backlash, it is culture breakout between artists and part of her audience. Guys, do you think this is the right move for Nicki Minaj?
Now, when Nicki Minaj came out and did that whole thing about Christians being persecuted in Nigeria, I knew then that she was positioning herself to be a part of the MAGA movement. Now, I was a Nicki Minaj fan about 15 years ago when she had come out and she was like the mixtape queen on everybody's albums. The song Monster that she did with Kanye West before he too went crazy. Or Bottoms Up that she did with Usher. Things like that. Never liked her singles and never got into the beef that she had with Cardi B. Didn't care about any of that. But lately I noticed that she did kind of fall off, and her music career fell not too long before she announced that she was getting married. Now, there is a lot of speculation as to why she is doing what she is doing when it comes to the Bone Spurs administration and why she is suddenly coming out after everything that we have seen in these past 10, 11 months. Why is she coming out to support them in this fashion when her words before, specifically about the VP, seem to be a little bit different? Now, Turning Point USA had this memorial thing in Phoenix, and Nicki Minaj came to speak at that. And notably, a lot of the other Black creators who also were part of Turning Point USA were not invited to this event, but she was. That can probably be chalked up to her status as someone who is super famous, and perhaps someone that they can use to be the face to try to gather more of the Black community. Now that Candace Owens had proven herself to be against Turning Point USA, they don't have a Black face to put in front to try to gather more people of the Black community to cheer on and support their own demise. So Nicki Minaj, someone of her celebrity and fame, can be that. Someone with her influence can probably bring in new people to Turning Point USA, or at least get them indoctrinated into that rhetoric. And boy, girl is ready. The thing is, what's in it for her? I have 3 possibilities that we'll break down. One that I'm hearing is her husband, Kenneth Petty, which that is the perfect name for his petty ass. Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty got married in 2019. But before that, he had a pretty long rap sheet. He was convicted of attempted SA in 1994. He and the girl that he tried to SA were both 16 years old. So I've been hearing rumors that he himself is a pedo. No, he tried to SA someone when he and that person were both kids. Now, he was convicted of that, and got 4 years in prison. When he got out, he needed to register as a level 2 offender. This was in New York. Now in 2006, he pled guilty to first-degree manslaughter after the unaliving of a man named Lamont Robinson. He got 10 years for that, but he only served 7. I don't know where Nicki Minaj picked this guy up from, but they married in 2019, and they moved to California. Now in California, he was supposed to register as an offender because he was registered as an offender in New York. He didn't do that. He thought he could get a clean slate by moving across the country. That is not how that worked out. He was arrested in 2020, and he pled guilty in 2021 and was sentenced in 2022 to 1 year of house arrest, as well as 3 years of probation and $55,000 in fines. And I think it is important to note here that that crime was a federal offense, which I'll get back to. Now, he violated his probation when he made a social media video threatening the rapper Offset. In that video was another person with a rap sheet, all of the things in which he was not supposed to be doing. So they gave him an additional 120 days of house arrest. Now, on top of that, Nicki and Petty were sued by the girl that Petty had tried to essay when they were 16. That girl sued them in 2021, saying that they were intimidating her, harassing her, and trying to bribe her with up to $500,000 to sign a pre-written statement recanting her accusations against Petty. Now in 2022, the suit was dropped against Nicki, but the case is ongoing between this girl and Petty. And just as a side note, Nicki and Petty were also sued and had to pay $500,000 to a security guard in Germany after Nicki and the security guard got into an argument and Petty broke his jaw. Seriously, where did she find this guy? Now, people are saying that she is doing this with the whole MAGA thing because she wants a pardon for her husband, and she wants his record expunged so that he no longer has to register as an offender. The problem is, the current POS of the United States cannot pardon people for state crimes. Petty was convicted of attempted SA and pled guilty to manslaughter in New York. He was charged by New York State. So those crimes are not going away. The only thing that Bone Spurs could do is pardon him of the crime of not registering in California, because that was a federal crime. So if that's not it, then maybe it's something else. People have also brought up that her older brother, Jelani Mirage, is also in trouble. Now, Jelani Mirage was convicted in 2017 for repeatedly essaying his 11-year-old stepdaughter. He assaulted her multiple times a week while her mother was at work for months. Just Bone Spurs' type. Now, this occurred in Long Island, and he was sentenced in 2020 to 25 years to life for this crime. The crime took place in 2015. He was convicted in 2017 and was sentenced to 25 years in 2020. He has since tried over and over again to appeal the conviction, but has been rejected thus far by the judges. Now, one could think that she is doing this to try to get a pardon for her brother, but he's facing the same problems as her husband because the attack on that 11-year-old girl was done in Long Island. So the state of New York is the one that has prosecuted him. These are state charges, and the state is the one that sent him to jail for 25 years. These aren't federal charges, so Bone Spurs can't do anything about those federal charges. Not in the sense of just pardoning him and being done with it. Now, the third reason why she is doing this may be a little bit more likely. Nicki Minaj, even though she has been here since she was 5 years old, is not a citizen of the United States. She was born in Trinidad and Tobago, and she came here when she was 5 years old to be with her mother, who had a green card, and is also not a citizen of the United States. Nicki Minaj is a legal resident with a green card, but I laughed a little bit when she said our president because she didn't even vote for him. She couldn't. She's not a citizen. So technically, he's not her president. But that's what she's going to say because it sounds really good to the base. But not only that, is I can't help but think that the timing of this is a little interesting. Bone Spurs' rhetoric against immigrants has been getting browner and browner. And after the oh-so-convenient attack in D.C., Bone Spurs has really been honing in on the Black-presenting immigrant community. People like her. There is no better way to make sure that you don't get deported or detained than to suck up to Bone Spurs. And being that she has $1 million for that gold card, positioning herself in that way could also help her fast-track her citizenship. But then why not just pay the $1 million for the gold card and be done with it? Well, for one, she's Black, so she has to do a little bit more to get that gold card. But second, cozying up to people who are in Bone Spurs' orbit can help her garner favor to get some backdoor deals going at the state level to help her brother and her husband. Trying to influence the federal laws, for example, when it comes to the registry, or having Bone Spurs put pressure on some of those judges that her brother is trying to get to appeal his case, snuggling up to the UN ambassadors, which will get her a lot of openings to other people within the administration, and thus the people who make the laws. Nicki Minaj could have quietly supported Bone Spurs, and I can't say whether what she is saying she actually believes or not. Not my place, I don't care. But what it does seem like is that she has a couple of objectives that she is trying to accomplish by sucking up to Bone Spurs and his administration. And they are more than happy to invite her in because they need a black presenting face to replace Candace Owens. Black people, don't be fooled by this. She does not have the black community's best interests at heart. And to get what she wants, she is more than willing to lead some in the black community toward their own demise.
So, the real question is this. Is it Nicki Minaj become MAGA? Or is it just refusing to control by her fans? Is it this about Donald Trump? Or this is about power? Independence and refusing to play by expectations? One thing is clear. Nicki Minaj didn't lose her voice, but she may lose her fans, of course. Guys, this is Rica's Take. If you are, you like this kind of content, please subscribe. Give us your opinion about this chaos. This was Nicki Minaj, but the next can even drop another bang. Guys, I love you. See you in the next one.